Hey everyone, Dan and Leslie back for another Disney dining review.
Today we are headed over to Disney Springs to one of our favorite places to hang out, which is Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar.
Yes, I love Jock Lindsay's. We've loved this for years for multiple reasons. Number one, the theming is fantastic. Spoiler alert. It's all themed to Indiana Jones, the pilot Jock Lindsay, and it's fantastic. Like, you can see Easter eggs in there from all kinds of stuff. We'll show you some here in just a second, but the menu is constantly rotating. They've got some fun drinks, fun snacks, so we're gonna have both. And the location is wonderful, being right in the heart of the Landing, that beautiful island part of Disney Springs. It's got water all around it. You got the springs on one side with bridges going over to the Landing, and then on the backside, you've got that gorgeous view across the water. It's so cool, and you just sit right there on the water, which I'm sure we will, and just look out, sip a beverage, eat a snack. It's a great afternoon.
I love that you know me well enough to know that we'll probably sit outside, because I love to sit outside whenever that's an opportunity, and that's one of the greatest things about this. Not only do you have inside outdoor seating, you also have like boat seating, so it's a permanent attachment to the building that it like looks like a boat, and you can sit in there. So there's lots of really cool places to sit. Probably the biggest downfall to this place is that it is seat yourself, and so you kind of have to do the little stalking of the tables to try to find a spot. So we're going a little early so that maybe we won't have to do that as much.
Absolutely. So what are we looking at as far as new bites of food? Are there anything that has been added to this menu?
One thing I'm very excited about, last time we went, we got these shrimp fried rice bites, and they were fantastic, and they're still on the menu, so I got very excited about that. We'll probably definitely get those. But I don't recall the Club Obi-Wan wings before, which is crispy honey pineapple wings with pineapple salsa. So there's also a bread dip pyramid with Brazilian cheese bread, creamy tomato, and a chorizo dip that I don't believe that I've seen before. So there's some bao buns, there's meatballs, there's a big old pretzel. I don't know. The last time we got the pretzel, it was a little dry.
So I was gonna say, the pretzel is one of their staples, and it's been one of my favorites in the past. So like, we went here, 4 or 5 months ago, and we got the pretzel along with some other things. It was my least favorite thing there, because the pretzel was dry. It's massive though, so it's like a meal in and of itself. It's basically our charcuterie board in a giant pretzel. I don't know that we'll get that today, just because I wanna try some of these other things, but don't sleep on the pretzel. It's usually good. It was dry last time, but it's usually a good snack. But it's like 22 something, so it's definitely a shareable.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's worth checking out at least, even if we don't get it today. But I'm hungry. We haven't eaten lunch. I'm excited. Are you ready to do this?
Yes, I am.
Let's do this. Alright, we have arrived. We started with drinks. We got the Jock's Old Fashioned. So $18.50 is the cost of this little guy here. Not one large cube though, so that is a little bit of a disappointment. Let's try it. So it's already watered down. This is why I'm so like insistent on one large cube, because all that little ice in there immediately melts in 88 degrees in Florida heat right now. So let me stir this thing up. Ooh. Better, not great. I would stick to the other drinks, the specialty drinks, or maybe beer here. They've got a lot of good beer on tap, so not the best place for an old fashioned.
I ventured out of my normal, which is usually like a margarita or a beer or a mule that I get here, and I got the anything goes, which is vodka, ancho reyes, chili liqueur. There's, let's see, passion fruit, lime juice, and pineapple juice in this. So let's see. I'm getting a lot of pineapple juice. Not very much of a kick, like just maybe the slightest little bit of a kick. So it's okay. It's probably not one that I would necessarily get again unless something changes in the next like several drinks that I have. But I do love that they have so many really nice beers here as well, and it's really nice, especially sitting outside enjoying one of those. So we also, food just arrived. All right, so first up is the rice ball, and I already took a little bite. It is delicious. I don't even understand how they make these so good. It comes with a little dipping sauce, but then it also comes with like just shishito peppers, which are nicely done well as well. This is just, I feel like, a fun little dish.
Okay, up next is chicken on the egg, which has 6 deviled eggs, each topped with a piece of fried chicken. I'm not sure how to even go about eating this, so we're just gonna dive in. That's messy. Messy, but fantastic. That's an amazing bite of food right there. Like, the deviled egg is good, but it's plain. It just kind of provides a backdrop with a creaminess for that bite of just wonderfully cooked fried chicken. That's really well done. I like that a lot.
All right, so these are the Club Obi-Wan wings. They are crispy honey pineapple wings with a pineapple sauce on it. There's also like peppers and stuff on it. Flavor's really good on those. I can't tell if the chicken is a little bit dry, but it's actually, I think it's just really, really good.
All right, and last up, we got a 4th item. It's called the Volcano Dip, which we were a little unsure of because it comes with crispy bread, and it is kind of like a cross between a French onion soup and a cheese dip. So when they brought it out, the presentation had a dome over the dip, and there was smoke in there. You can actually taste that smoke in that French onion dip. That's really well done, honestly. That's a fantastic dip. That's pretty solid. Okay, I'm happy with the food.
All right, we are going to fully enjoy all of this food, and we will finish this up at home.
All right, we are back.
Before we get into this, if you are looking to plan your next magical vacation, please reach out to us over at Fantastical Vacations. We plan Disney destinations, Universal Cruise Lines, and all-inclusive resorts.
So, Jock Lindsay's is a wonderful little lounge / bar / restaurant kind of thing right beside the boathouse, right in the heart of Disney Springs. We've been going to it for years. One of our favorite pastimes is going to the Lego store with the boys, getting them like a small little set thing to put together in like 20 minutes, and then going to Jock Lindsay's, grabbing a couple small bites and a couple of drinks on a nice chill Disney Springs afternoon, and we would spend just a couple hours there. It was lovely.
Oh my gosh, so many great memories. And that's it. I think it holds a lot of nostalgia for us as well, just because there are so many memories that because we went to Jock Lindsay's, I think, every single vacation ever since our first vacation. So with all that said, ambiance and theming, love the fact that they have the indoor-outdoor seating, that boat thing that you can sit on, and then all of the really cool like nods to Indiana Jones. Matter of fact, the table we were sitting at had like a old hand radio set up back behind us, and every once in a while you could hear like the little chatter on the hand radio, which was kind of cool.
It's kind of awkward because as you're going through, and that's why I didn't get too many artifacts, it's kind of awkward because there are people at those tables.
Yeah.
So like you don't just like lean over them just staring at all the artifacts, but if you just spend some time like looking in those bookshelves and up on top, like above the door where you walk in, there's a cage for Reggie the snake, you know, is up there. I mean, just like little random things from the different the different like scenes. So I do love that. So the theming is on point.
Yeah.
The ambiance is pretty good. I'll say the biggest thing that knocks it down for me is it was always a self-serve, first come, first serve, you know, find your own table until COVID. And then when COVID happened and all of the restrictions on, you know, number of people in restaurants and that kind of thing, then they definitely, they put somebody at the front entrance you would check in with, and they would take you to a table, sit you there, and you would enjoy whatever, and then you would leave. I appreciate that so much here, because especially on a weekend night, this place gets packed, and it's hard to find a table, and you literally just, it's super awkward because instead of like looking at at the artifacts, you are looking at people,
You're like,
trying to find the table that's almost done, and you just like stare them down, and you're just
How
like,
close are you to being finished?
it's super awkward. So
While eyeing the other people that are also circling like vultures waiting for a table, and you're like, hey, can you give me your table before those people get your table? And
we've done this before. It's a thing. So that's why we like to go to Jock Lindsay's earlier in the afternoon. It is a Friday, but we got there like at 4. So it's definitely. And the other kind of downside is sitting out there on that back patio. The sun, especially in the afternoons, especially this time of year, it does shine in and it gets pretty bright. Now they do have shades that they can lower.
But they didn't lower them today. I don't know why.
They didn't lower them today.
But I'm wondering because the back wasn't like filled up yet, and
Maybe.
so there were plenty of tables in the shade, so maybe they were like, well, just sit in the shade if you don't want the sun.
I bet they lower them about this time, about when the sun is really starting to set. So all that to be said, we gave Ambiance a theming of 4.5. We think it's like super fun with the theming of it, and the ambiance
very relaxed.
largely is really good, but there's a couple of things that don't just push it right up to that 5 for us.
Yeah, service. So we've had hit or miss servers here.
Wah, wah.
He was fine.
He wasn't fine. He wasn't great.
Okay, I'm very kind.
Look, okay, I'll be honest. We sat down and we were there for at least 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes. I took a bunch of B-roll before he actually ever came to introduce himself or take drink orders.
He came and introduced himself to me, but then it was a while after you had sat down before he came back. Like, we had already pretty much decided what drinks, what food, everything. Like, we had been sitting there for a while.
So we ordered drinks and food at the same time because we were afraid he was never going to come back. So he was okay. Like, we got the stuff that we ordered, and that's kind of where it ends. We've had great servers there before. It's just like today, I don't know, maybe they weren't super busy though, so that's not an excuse. I don't know.
Sometimes people work better whenever they are busy. You know what I mean? Like, and then they slack off a little bit more whenever they're not.
He was nice.
Anyway.
He just wasn't. He was straight up average. There was nothing above average about him, but he wasn't like super below average either. He didn't do anything bad.
Yeah.
So we gave him a 3.
Yeah. All right. Drinks.
Oof. This one's rough today.
I will say I have had some fantastic drinks there in the past. I'm sticking to my go-tos though, because I don't even know if my drink had vodka in it or not. For $16.50, I feel like you should feel like you got a pretty decent drink. And it was fine. Dan's got really watered down.
Like, if you're serving old fashions, if you have an old fashioned on that, this was labeled Jock's Old Fashioned, and it was $18.50, whereas all the other mixed drinks were $16.50. Like, it needs to at least make it in front of me before being watered down. If I can't even take the first sip before the ice has melted, and I have to stir it up to even get maybe 70% taste of what the original beverage was, it's not acceptable. And I get it. It was 88 degrees sitting on that patio. We chose to sit outside, and I chose to order an old fashioned. But if you do 1 large cube, there's plenty of time to bring that drink out, set it down. The 1 large cube is not gonna melt, is not gonna dilute that drink fast enough before you at least take a couple sips. And that's the whole point of the 1 large cube. You don't want a bunch of little tiny ice cubes. In fact, after I took my sip, about 30 seconds later, the ice was melting so fast, I literally took my fork and just dug all the ice out and just put it on the plate so I could save what was left of this old fashioned to continue to sip on throughout the experience. And it didn't really work. Like, all of the chunks that I was taking out, they were mostly melted.
Yeah, they were very small. So with that said, I mean, we have had some good drinks in the past here. I really have enjoyed the mule, the margarita.
I've had great beers there. They've got good beers on tap.
They have great beers. So that's kind of maybe where, if you're going, don't expect an over-the-top beverage as far as like a cocktail goes. It might be someplace just to stick to like something that you know, or a beer.
They do have fun drinks there.
They do.
It specifically the old fat. Yours wasn't super. Just wasn't a great recipe. Mine, it was just the presentation was awful. So we couldn't. Honestly, mine was probably a 2. Yours was probably a 3.
Yeah.
But because we know they've done good drinks in the past, and because we know they have great beers on tap, we just gave it a straight up 3.
Yeah.
Just don't get the old fashioned. I don't know.
The food. So, man, that chicken on the egg was really good. Like that's a really nice bite of food. The shrimp fried rice balls, those were delicious along with the shishito peppers. The dip was pretty good, like that French oniony type dip. The wings were decent. They were probably my least favorite of the things we got today, but overall the food there was nothing that I was like, oh, I can't eat this. So I mean, the food there is pretty solid.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't really have anything else to add. Like everything we got today was really well done. My favorites were the fried rice balls, and then also the deviled eggs with the fried chicken on top. Those were super good.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would like them, but they were very tasty.
I wasn't sure about them either, but they ended up being our favorite on the table.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we gave food a 4, and if you add all that up and divide by 4, it is a 3.625, which honestly feels a little low for Jock Lindsay's for the
amount of love we have.
Yeah, we really like the place. So it was a little bit disappointing today. I mean, really just those drinks. Like if those drinks had come out and they would have been spot on, this would have gotten over a 4 and we wouldn't even be having this discussion. Because the theming is great. The food is pretty good. Oh, and then the server, if the server had maybe been just a little bit more attentive, it would have gotten well over a 4. So I'm going to call today probably a little bit of an exception to our Jock Lindsay's rule. So we'll definitely be back, even though it's a 3.625. We may have to go back here in a few months and do our redemption review and just see if it kind of redeems itself.
As redemption reviews do.
Or not.
Or not. Well, if you are liking these videos, please hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.
And we'll see you on the next video.